Good evening, my name is Garrett and welcome to The Last Call. Tonight's final drink is from 3 Floyds. This is Divine Rite, coming in at a 50.04% ABV, 2-year age statement. Now, I had no clue 3 Floyds is doing things in the distillery world. And they're in my backyard, essentially. But I was perusing a store and I seen this on the shelf with a couple other spirits by them. And I just had to try it because, again, they're from my home state. I have to give it a go. But it seems like this isn't super common, especially outside of Indiana. And even then, it seems very select. Again, haven't seen on any shelves. Some interesting things here is we know that they are using New American oak, and their blend itself is a malted barley, oat malt, and corn all together on that. So I'm really curious what's going to happen here. As always, we're going to try it 2 different ways. First way, neat, no ice, no water. Second way, we'll add a drop of water, see what changes up. But yeah, I mean, coming in at a high proof, and going single malt styled, I kind of wish we'd know the exacts. But I looked around their site and I couldn't see anything on that. But, I mean, I've had 3 Floyds many of times with their beers. So I'm expecting a lot of influence coming from that. But we'll see. I love its color already. Very dark. Love the bottle shape. Yeah. And they also offer their white whiskey, which I'm really considering. Depending on how this goes, I might pick that up. And then they do a blend with their Gumball Head that uses the exact same mash bill as their Gumball Head beer, if I remember right. And I might pick that one up too. That one's a little harder to find though. Beautiful, beautiful color there. For 2 years, it's got some good color in it. All right, let's go for notes. Ooh, I like that. No real ABV, really. I mean, it might come through maybe a small percentage there. But you're kind of getting that maltiness in there, which is nice. It's not like the funky malt, but a nice maltiness going on. A little bit of caramel. A little herbal, like mint herbal. Yeah, got a little bit of a mint going on there. Oh, that's nice. A little vanilla. Yeah, just nice and simple on the nose, but it's got that maltiness to it, and it brings out this sweetness factor that you can find in your single malts a lot of times. But it's got a nice, almost burnt quality in there too. It almost goes like the top of a caramelized dessert, like a creme brulee, where you blow torch it, but not quite as charry. But it's there just barely. All right, let's go for taste. Yeah. There's the charriness. Ooh, got a good mouthfeel to it. Surprisingly not as malty in the taste as I was expecting. I've had several really malty options in the past. Devil's Cut, and I've had a couple different beer-influenced ones. That definitely has a bit of it, but it's nowhere what I was expecting. But it's got a beautiful charriness to it. Good mouthfeel. A little bit of sweetness, a little caramel. Goes into a little mintiness to it. A little bit of like a fresh mint. That fresh mint goes from the mid to the finish itself. A little bit of oak in there. But it's got this nice herbal mix going on there from that malt. I would have expected there would have been some rye in this. But since there's not, it's nice and simple though. That high proof does show up a little bit in that nice warmth. The maltiness is almost given it with a little bit of sweetness, almost giving it like a desserty bread quality to it. Almost like a pumpkin bread without as heavy in the pumpkin area. Like, I don't know. It goes sweeter than pumpkin bread, but almost, I actually take it back. A little pumpkin bread with a little bit of like a cream over the top, an icing, sorry. My brain's going 20 different places. A little bit of icing over the top, get it nice and sweet, because you get a little bit of that maltiness in there with it. And a bit of caramel, a little bit of cherry note going on in there. I like that. I like that a lot. That is very pleasant. It's not like really rewriting itself or what single malts can be, but it's really packing a punch. I love the higher ABV on there. Going at 50, I think is a good number. A little sweetness, a little herbal, love that minty herbal going on. But it's in that late, right after that mintiness, I get a bit of that malt with almost pumpkin bread quality to it, with a little bit of icing on there to bring up that sweetness a bit, and a little bit of charriness going on. That is a ride. I like that. I love that taste. Okay. See what a little water does to her. Now I'm really curious on the white whiskey, the unaged, to really see what it does on how it tastes prior to being aged. That's good. I like that. Okay, let's see what water does. Let's go for notes. It goes very transparent. I'm going to let it open up just a moment longer here. Goes a little more malty, a little more sweeter malt. ABV does show up a little bit more, but not much still. A little sweetness in there. I like that malty sweetness. But you really don't get a lot of other character going on there. No real oak. A little bit of vanilla. That caramel guess does show up a little bit in there. Okay, let's go for taste. That's what I was expecting on the neat version. Drinks more like a beer now. The maltiness is almost like the after effects in the finish of drinking a beer. Like just a light, common Pilsner, nothing, no frills beer. But it's got a good kick of that malt in there. And I do love that about it. Doesn't go really metallic or strong ABV. Sweet oak. A little bit of caramel going on in there. And right about now is where I'm starting to get that beer finish for a Pilsner. Nice, simple, light beer. A little sweet, but very malty from that. The charriness does go away a little bit. I was trying to see if I got the beer maltiness at the end. Not really. Surprisingly not as strong. To be frank, I expected this version to be the neat one right from the get-go. I've had a lot of single malts recently, and they've all been very potent in that beer-esque quality. Not that there's a problem with that, but it really surprises me that the neat version didn't have as strong of a note for that. Yeah, I mean, it definitely is more dialed back in its flavor profile. A little more simple, but honestly, it's still just as good. And it's a little bit, just a little small change up in the two, going from less of that maltiness to more beer maltiness to it. All right, let's talk about market pricing, because we all know market price is market price, and it's always going to vary. If I can get this cat back in. Wow. I picked this up for $61, and on their website they have it listed for $70. I see it listed anywhere between $60 to $65 for it. Honestly, for a craft distillery doing single malt, I think that's about where it lives. $60 is a decent buy. It's not going to be for everybody. If you're not a big single malt fan, you may not like this. But I definitely recommend at least giving it a try because I think that's some really damn good flavor in there. I think I wouldn't pay more than $70 for it. If I was at the distillery and I needed a bottle, would I pick one up for $70? Sure. Again, I can still find it at one place for $61. And for $61, yeah, I would. That's spot on where I like to pay for it. But if I was in a pinch or if I couldn't find any more, I'd make a travel to the distillery and pick up a bottle for $70. Yeah, I wouldn't have a problem with that either. So yeah, there you have it. 3 Floyds Divine Rite. If you have any questions about the bottle itself, let me know down in the comment section below. I will do my best to answer it. And if you have any specific spirits I should go looking for, let me know down below as well. I'm always on the hunt for something unique and something fun to share with you at home. And as always, may your last drink of the night be the best one.